Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
Hey, welcome to Unanimous Corner, bringing you another episode of Unanimous Decision. And today, who we talking to, Bill?
Hey, you heard what he said, Unanimous Decision. That's our exclusive interview series. And today we have a good one. This young lady, she hails from St. Louis, Missouri. She acts, she sings, she dances. She's a jack of all trades. Today, we're bringing you an up-and-coming artist. She's about to drop a new project, Miss Kalonda Kay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, hey, Kalonda, you ready to step in this ring?
I'm ready. Come on, bring it in.
All right,
Okay,
welcome to the
all
show.
right. How you doing, Kalonda? First things first, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to our show and in this corner. We truly appreciate you blessing our channel with your presence. How are you doing today?
I'm amazing. I am amazing. How are you all?
We are doing awesome.
We're
Awesome.
wonderful, can't complain.
Yeah.
Wonderful, but we can't complain. So again, like I stated, thank you for coming on the show. We're going to run through these questions. We're going to run through this interview, and we're going to take that journey from the beginning to the end, and we're going to have fun doing it.
Okay, sounds good.
And don't beat us up too much. You know, we do have this little boxing theme going on, but you know, don't beat us up too much.
Nope, I'm a gentle soul. I got you. Got you.
All right. Well, you were born and raised in St. Louis,
Yeah.
Missouri, correct?
Yeah.
We do know that St. Louis has a big jazz blues influence. If I'm not mistaken, Miles Davis was East St. Louis, which is not, I don't think it's too far from you guys, right?
No, it's literally like 6-7 minutes, depending on where you're coming from.
Okay, so you guys have a big jazz blues influence. So what was the music culture growing up for you? While you were growing up, what was the music culture like?
Well, honestly, I was kind of, not involved in like the urban music or secular music. More so, I kind of was, I only knew what my parents played in the living room with the bop. That's all I knew. I knew how to bop and whatever they played on them records. And I couldn't remember, but Patti LaBelle, Sade. And then I actually started singing in opera. So, for me, secular music didn't come into my life until I was a teenager, as far as singing it. So I did gospel as well, of course, in church. You got to do church.
Got to do gospel. Choir.
Yes, exactly. And so secular world, only music I knew, like I said, was what my mom played in the living room.
Which is weird because you dance, you sing, you act.
Yes.
You have a mind for the business side of things too. So someone who hadn't experienced the secular side until your later years, you definitely became a jack of all trades. Which one of those areas that I mentioned, the dancing, the singing, and the acting, even the business side, do you feel that the industry notices you more for?
That's an interesting question because I struggle with that as an artist, before finding my niche, right? I didn't want to be put in a box. So every time I was found dancing for someone, people were like, well, do you sing too? And I'm like, yeah. So it kind of came all together every time people seen me. So I would say, my dancing and singing has always carried me. So that got me most of my jobs. And so I'm newly in the acting world in the last 2 years have been new for me. As far as film work, I've done theater for many years as well. I've traveled with theater, but on the film that was new. So normally people see me, they just, I guess, assume they're like, do you dance too? Or do you sing too?
I mean, you got to look to you that, I mean, you just seem like it's a lot of energy coming from that direction. It may be the red outfit, but I'm like, she looks like she sounds good on the mic or dances well in front of the camera.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So you said you started with opera, in the Pavarotti.
So
that's the only one I know.
Yeah, you say actually I did it's with the choral most of the time. I did the Fox Theater, we did the Nutcracker every year. We traveled around the world with the Gospel Music Workshop of America. And so I traveled from a young age, but it was strictly in opera. And then when I was in high school, middle school, a lot of my teachers, and they would put me in opera events or shows and things like that. I had no clue. I was just doing it, I was like,
Okay.
But for me, I wasn't really familiar with anything opera. I just did what I was told to do. I was really quiet. So for me, my voice was my voice. My singing voice was, expressed who I was. So I use it more so.
Yeah. And
So
just
with,
like,
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Bill. No, you
So
gotta go.
with the acting, with the singing, the dancing, as Barry just previously stated, which one gives you the greatest joy?
All of them.
Okay.
When I hit a stage, people meet me and they're like, man, I'm so vibrant, but I also have another side where I'm real calm and I'm quiet and shy, and people don't believe it. They're like, you're on stage, you're another person. I think that's for every artist. But for me, I love it all. If I wasn't doing any of them, I would miss doing it. So if I step away from dance, I'll miss dancing, although I'm still singing, and vice versa. So it kind of goes hand in hand because that's my makeup. I've done this since I've been little, dancing as well. So this is me.
Yeah. And you talk about since you've been little, I think definitely your family influenced you even from a vocal standpoint, because you're hearing all of these records when you're young, right? And
Yeah.
it's, I also want to bring up your grandmother. I know she spent time in the entertainment industry. Tell us a little bit about how she influenced your route towards the entertainment and the business side.
Man, my grandmother is a beast. When I say she did some of everything, she had her hands in the Black Music Coalition. She had her own radio show. She had her own dance school. She owned restaurants. She amazing woman. So I had, organically, I found myself being just like her. So everybody that sees me in the family, they're like, you are your grandmother's child, like literally. So it just naturally I gravitated. So she played a major role. Even today, I still just sit and talk to her and pick her brain about things like, how was it back then? The difference between now and then. Because now she say, you naked. Oh my God, you ain't got on no clothes. And I'm like, you all did the same thing.
Yep. Pull up some of those Google images, pics, and call her out.
Yeah, y'all didn't have on moo-moos all the time.
Negative. Yeah, we saw.
Yeah.
You know how y'all were in the Cotton Club. And
Exactly. So it ain't much different.
Exactly. We know what's up. I want to kind of go back. You stated that you grew up with the gospel aspect. Who were some of your gospel influences, or who you started listening to?
Yeah, I love old school, quartets, and you would think like, really? Yeah, I have an old soul. So I love like Lee Williams. I love his group, and music that he does. Maverick City Choir. I love the real old school, like Order My Steps. I don't care who sang it. How excellent. Like those are the songs that take me there. Like I need to hear those songs, So I grew up listening to, a variety of things, like Yolanda Adams, of course. In my era, that's who was really, really popular, gospel music wise. And then, everybody started coming out of the woodwork. So I love them all, honestly.
We could tell she's passionate about gospel because her St. Louis accent started coming out when she
them R's.
Yeah.
Oh man, you heard the R's. I be trying to contain them.
Nah, you did up to that point. Yeah.
Hey, if the spirit moves you, let it go.
You said when the spirit moves you, they said one or two.
Let it go. Let it go. So you did some work with Carl Anthony Payne on the set summer film camp. We kind of thought we had the wording wrong, but we did some research, but that's the actual title of it. So is it, I think is a film camp for youth that's at different cities in different states, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So So there's a gentleman, Marlon Whitfield. They put together these film camps and they teach youth how to actually film, do behind the scenes, either, and they have to audition, they have to, try out for the positions to be on a set, but there's a celebrity actor or actress that's brought in for everyone. And so they also need, depending on the story, they might need an adult actor to go with the celebrity artists. So, I that was for me interesting. It was an interesting journey working next to Carl Anthony Payne. He did not stick to any of the script. I got my script 3 days before I had to shoot.
Were you did you adjust with the improvisation?
Oh man, I had no choice with him. Literally no choice at all. I mean, I worked hard because the woman who was going to play the role fell ill with COVID. So they found me like 3 days before, and I had to learn all of my lines, and I worked hard. Yeah. I get there and he did none of the lines. Like I literally was like, oh my God. so I had no choice, but he was like, you're doing a great job. Like you good. I'm like, okay, but with him, it made it comfortable because he felt like family. He felt like, he made me react. He did crazy stuff that make me react to his craziness. So it was organic. It was really natural. It felt good.
Did he give you any takeaways, any tidbits to help you to go
forward?
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of helped me see, like, before going on any set, like, kill the noise. So that was more important. Like anything around me that's going on, put yourself in that character, be that person. Don't answer your phone. Don't talk to people. Kind of going in a certain space. Even as the actors, he said, this was my first film work with a celebrity. He's like, man, you were amazing. So I was kind of blown away because I'm like, you don't know, this whole time I was like pulling my hair out. But for him being in the industry so long, for him to say I did so well, that was like really, really, I honored that. And I just was like, okay, how can I even be better from here? That was the next stop. Like, what else can I work on? But he literally left with nothing but great things, for me.
Yeah. And speaking of ringing endorsements, so I think every artist wants to be accepted and loved by their city. So do you feel like there's a strong connectivity between St. Louis artists?
Yeah, I think there's a wave, of these different, depending on what you do, but I think we all find ourselves playing together. We all find ourselves on the same stages together most of the time. So I think that we do have it's so many talented individuals here. So we have a lot of talent. Yeah. And so, it's sometimes hard not to come together or collaborate in some shade of form, whether you wanted to or not. You find yourself in the same building, on the same stage, in the same events, promoters promoting the same. I'm telling you, it's like, it's a network and it's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you think about like the entertainers, the Nellies and his crew, and I'm an avid battle rap watcher. So you guys got the you got the Hitman Hollows, the
Averb, yeah.
That boy wild.
Yes. He and I are good friends. We go way back.
Really? Yes. Oh, that's pretty dope.
That kind of answers the question right there too. It's just, it seems like I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to the South though, y'all kind of been, even with, like, I do feel like y'all slept on like heavy. So the fact that y'all showing each other love, that's speaks value.
Yeah. We often try to stay connected, any opportunities that come, like, especially like Averb and he's always doing something now, reality show, something he's doing, but he knows I'm always working. I know he's always working. We've collabed on many things. So I try to make sure that I'm a unified person. Yeah. So I'm always bringing everybody in. I'm like, come on, like, let's do this together. I work with many artists. That's just who I am. I can't speak for everybody else, but I am a person of unity. So I'm always grabbing somebody.
So in your music, your process, how do you create? Like, what is your creative process in writing music?
So for me, it has to just come. Like literally, I hear music, or if I'm driving down the street, my car is my place of peace, which is so funny, but that's where I get most of my ideas, in the car driving. So most of the time it's crazy, but like, even if I go to my producers, studio and things like that, play a track, and if I feel like I can dance to it, I'm like, immediately it's like, I got it. And just relating to life, you know what I mean? My music is a 90s feel, and it's timeless, it's on back. I got a little bit of feel of Motown, from Sade feel. It's a variety, but it's the stuff that I kind of literally grew up on. Yep. However, writing that is easy because it's what I knew. I grew up with love. I grew up with, good music where I saw my parents dancing in the living room together, or, you know, we had living room parties all the time, basement parties all the time. And so I was like, where is that music? So that made it easy for me to write.
So you talk about living room parties. But before I get into that, I do think you could tell a lot about a person by the person that they're managed by. So your manager is linked to an era that you were obviously inspired by. So like he's partnered with lead singer of the Stylistics, Mark Gordon, who's a friend of the show. We interviewed him, and also producers that have worked with Shaka Khan. These are all individuals that were playing in your living room parties. So I do feel like you were strongly influenced by those eras. Is there a way for up and coming artists to get support from veterans or like classic old school artists?
Man, that is interesting. I think I thank God for my manager, because he is amazing, and he's you know, heavily in the industry, done this a long time. He's worked with all the Leverts, and so he knows what he's doing. Trusting him with that, but the gap that has been bridged is me having opportunities to do shows with them. So I just had a show with Garfield Fleming, which is one of the lead singers of the Delphonics. Right?
Yeah, wait, isn't that one of your manager's clients as well, or am I tripping on that?
No, I don't think they're his clients. They are actually, they worked together for many years. And so having those opportunities, and he saw me and he's like, whatever you need, I got you. You are amazing. I can support you in any way. So that right there kind of was like, wow. And so now I have another show coming up with another you know, one of the old school group leaders. I don't want to put out there yet. I got to wait and make sure all my facts together. But just being in the room with them, having to share a stage with somebody that grand and that amazing, and them seeing you, that is creating those bridges, you know, for me to be able to be seen in that world, in that era.
And it also helps like as a launching pad for projects. So you're dropping a new project this month, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So what can the fans expect from it?
Yes, this is my birthday month too. So
happy pre-birthday. Yes, ma'am.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday.
She said birthday month 30? Like she
Did you say happy 30th?
No, I said happy birthday month. I said happy birthday. Honestly, I'm not even going to try to guess how old you are. Like, I do feel like you have an old soul, and I'm in the most respectful way. Like you got like the face of a teenager, but you know, like obviously the spirit and the wisdom is there. So I don't want to guess. But we'll probably ask you that offline. But I would say you said birthday month. You didn't say birthday, so it sounds like you're celebrating for all 31 days.
Man, I am. And so my single Too Soon is going to release April the 14th. I have a major celebration going on this Friday at the Grandale Theater. It's one of our biggest, oldest repertory historical theaters in St. Louis. And I'm doing this big Vegas style show, but I'm also introducing my single. So a lot of the DJs got it. I performed it now this morning on the news station here in St. Louis. So people are hearing about it, but it actually don't drop until the 14th of April, but people are able to pre-save it. So it's on all platforms. So, I mean, everything you have, YouTube, Spotify, I mean, everything you could think of, that's where it will be streaming. So, yes.
And I can just go ahead and tell you, I heard it.
You heard it?
Yeah.
What you think? You can be honest. What y'all think?
So, for me, my R&B era is late 80s, early 90s, right? So the 80s and 90s, that's my R&B. So my bar is very high. So as I was telling Barry during our pre-production talk, this song will be added or has been added to my playlists that I will listen to.
Tell her what song. Oh, tell her what song.
It's Too Soon.
Yep.
It's Too Soon. It's her single. So no, the production is sultry. It's just a good vibe. You can tell it's not just a quick studio song that somebody went in really quickly, put something together. You put some lyrics on top of, and you just went your own way. No, you can tell there was some thought going on into this song. So
Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
This song, all right.
Okay.
So what has been the feel from your local DJs and so forth about it?
Yeah, the great part about it is that the feedback has been amazing. Literally from DJs that do overseas to national DJs are like, man, we need this. We need this music, this feel. And so they've actually reached out and asked me, hey, how do I get it to spin it? I've got inboxes on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm like, that's amazing. I appreciate that. So it's exciting. It's good to know, people that, like my marketing manager, he has been in the industry for over 20 plus years with Sony Record. And he's like, Kalonda, this is it. Like I see thousands of artists. He's like, this is it right here. So it feels good, because I know they hear thousands of music and you all hear so many songs. And I just wanted to feel good. I just wanted people to feel what I was feeling when I was creating that.
It's definitely a feel-good song. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely a feel-good song. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you so we talk about an actual project. Now we're going to kind of take you to Dreamville for a little bit. So if you could record a duet album, it could be any genre you want. Well, gospel, jazz, R&B, with anyone from the past or present. Who would it be, and tell us why?
Oh, that's hard.
And I'm gonna add a second part to that. Who is going to be your producer? There you go.
Yeah.
We just
it's on you. Let's go.
Difficult.
Yeah, right. Yeah, damn me in. Wow, that is deep. Now, I grew up with one of my favorite artists being Tweet.
Okay.
As well as Tank. Like I love he has a quartet feel to me as well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I really always liked him, because he always has stacks of harmonies, like stacks of them. And it just takes me back to church when he sings, which is interesting because he's singing nothing about church
at all.
We just talked to one of his producers last week. Yeah.
So whoever his producer is, heck, I love his music, but I also, like I said, I love Tweet. It's always been very subtle and sweet and soft and so I don't have a particular. I think that whoever is amazing and whoever is sent my way to work with and it's organic, I am all arms like, let's do it, you know? Yeah.
Bill, she answered your part too, because Tank kind of counts.
I guess he could count. He could count as the a duet person and a producer. You let it slide. Okay, all right.
You gonna let it slide?
Yeah,
we'll let that one slide. But this one you can't slide. This one that's coming up you can't slide on.
Okay.
So you gotta go ahead and answer this question, right?
Okay.
All right. You got a Mount Rushmore. We kind of ask these questions to a couple people. So we got the Mount Rushmore, and we'll say. Let's go with female singers. All right, our women singers of all time.
Okay.
I don't care what genre you pick. It could be gospel, jazz, opera, R&B, reggae. I don't care. Who would you pick as your top 4 female artists?
Okay, I would say Etta James.
Ooh, okay.
Jasmine Sullivan.
He's prepared.
Lauren Hill and Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Etta James, why Etta James?
Well, her music is amazing. So it just, come on, At Last, I'd Rather Go Blind. I actually cover those songs with my band, and everybody's like, you sing those songs, you bring me to tears. And I'm like, you just don't know, like, I love it that much, And so her music has just always been, touching to the heart. It's raw, back then when they recorded, I love that sound because it's like, this is raw. It ain't all this extra.
It sounds organic. Yeah.
It's organic.
Yes.
I love that.
Leave the mess ups in there too. Like leave
exactly. And I'm one of those artists, like leave my mess ups there. I want my mess ups. That's make me who I am. Yeah. So I want the raw stuff. And so that's what I loved about her. I love that.
Now just your picks, it shows like how eclectic your
definitely. Yeah, you said also
Lauren Hill was in there. Jasmine Sullivan was in there, and Tweet was in there.
Why not why Lauren?
Yeah.
Not why Jasmine. You know what I mean? We kind of know.
Yeah.
But what about Jasmine Sullivan? That
So
picture there.
yeah, she's soulful.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to hear music that I can feel.
Mhm.
And it's cool if you got all the 15,000 runs in the world, but
Yeah.
if I can't feel it, I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so for me, when Jasmine sings and she
Agreed.
sings from the soul, like you could tell that there are some stories behind that voice when she sings. And I mean, I feel it. I will play her songs on repeat. And so for me, that's important. She has a connection through her
Mhm.
music, which I love.
Mhm.
Same for Lauryn Hill. Lauren takes you on a journey.
Yeah.
She talked about, everything you could think of in her music, but how could you not feel what she was singing, and then the way that she would do it, her kind of neo soul vibe with the R&B mix, like it just, she's dope. She was dope. She
Mhm.
still is dope, I'm sure, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I loved it. The Nothing Even Matters with her and D'Angelo,
Mhm.
X Factor. I mean, everything you could think of. The woman is amazing.
I
Yeah.
think that's my favorite song. X Factor is my favorite
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill song.
Oh
Definitely.
man.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you thinking,
It's-
Bear. I see
yeah,
I see you there thinking.
I want to say that, but then you got the whole Fuji album as well, so that just shows her range. Like I'm not really sure, but
Yeah.
with everything that you got going on from just being involved in all facets of the industry, I definitely think you're an interesting follow. So to keep up with new projects that you got coming out and also what's next for you, what's the best way for folks to stay connected with you?
Yeah, you can always visit my website, my artist page at kalondakay.com. That's KalondaKay.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, all with the same name, Kalonda Kay. So yeah, that's where mostly all of my postings be. I'm on TikTok too. I haven't figured that out yet. I gotta hire someone.
For someone like you, especially with the dance angle, you're gonna figure it out. I feel like when you want to figure it out, you will figure it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna find somebody to do it for me because there's no way. I learn something every day, and I'm all late. The kids like, you ain't know that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That TikTok is the wave.
Yeah.
TikTok is the wave right now.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's dancer friendly. So just make sure you stretch first, but you'll do it.
Okay.
A lot of TikTok dances.
But
Oh my God.
no, Kalonda, we definitely thank you. I know we're always trying to get representation from females. I think females are the backbone of R&B. It's my favorite genre. So to have folks like you just keeping that genre alive, we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. So
Thank
Bill, anything you want to add?
As he stated, thank you so much for just coming on our platform. Again, the Too Soon, I'm trying to tell y'all, is going to be one of those ones.
Add it to the playlist.
Better add it to your playlist.
Add it
It's
to the
going to be one of those ones.
So far,
It'll have you doing your little TikTok 1-2 dance, 1-2 step. Okay?
She's been endorsed by her grandmother, Carl Anthony Payne, and she's made Bill's playlist, which is it's a difficult feat. So she the truth. Hey, Bill, we got a chance to interview Kalonda today. When it comes to folks giving their 2 cents on who we should interview next, what could they do?
Hey, y'all know what to do. Go to our comment section and we renamed that My 2 Cents. It'll leave you 2 cents. If you have any questions for Miss Kalonda Kay, please leave your questions or comments there. And when you hear the song, we're going to put a link somewhere so that you can click that link. And I need you to download and listen to that song. And I want you to leave your comments, please.
Awesome.
And then Bill, what's another way they could show support?
Please like this video, hit that subscribe button. And please hit that notification bell so that whenever we drop any new content, you are instantly notified.
All right. Outside of that, everybody say peace.
Peace.
Peace.